Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 3 to What If Naruto Was a Demon Lord. That being said, there's again not going to be a like all in this video. Make sure to check out my Discord, like and subscribe, and with that being said, let's do a brief recap of what actually happened in the last part of the What If. So, let's get right into it. So basically in the last part, we left off with Naruto. I don't know exactly how much I actually want to recap, because Naruto got this demon lord inside of him. And then they went back to the village, and then they went back to the castle. That's kind of all that really happened, not gonna lie. So everybody's back at the castle at this point. Naruto has the demon lord sealed inside of him, I guess you could say, and basically he's only with Hinata. Naruto's kind of been classified by the village as like the new demon lord thing, and they secluded him. So with that being said, let's get into the new material of the actual What If. So Naruto would be in his boat, sailing back towards his island. And, yeah, he would eventually arrive at his island after some amount of time would pass, and once again, it would be nighttime at this point, so they'd just go and they would end up going to bed. That's not really, nothing really much happens. However, as Naruto's waking up, he hears something. With his enhanced hearing, because why not, Naruto, he gets up and he's looking out his window, looking for the direction of which this weird sound was coming from, and he's trying to find it. Looking to his south, he sees it. He's looking at the water, and he sees small figures running along, and he's wondering exactly what they are. He wakes up Hinata, telling her to stay here, and then he simply jumps down from the castle, walking over in the direction that he sees all those figures running towards them. So as Naruto's making it near the edge of the water, he sees it. Not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of different ninja and everything like that are sprinting towards his island at this point. Or maybe not thousands, but hundreds of them are. And Naruto's like, what? He's wondering exactly why and what's happening right now. And as he's looking at them, they start getting in closer, where Naruto can actually see them, and he looks at the headband, and he sees that they're actually from the Leaf Village. And Naruto's like, what? Why would they be attacking me? They literally just let me go the other day. And as they're basically arriving at the island, they all stop. They don't attack Naruto immediately. The one that lead the group at this point would actually be Danzo, of course, because he didn't really do this with Hiruzen's permission. He's doing this with the rest of the Root, or the Root, however you actually want to pronounce this little organization. So with all of them, basically, and all these, frickin' really high-ranking ninja, because, again, he's part of, the Root, or the Root, they're, above Jonin level, generally speaking. So Naruto has hundreds of these people that he would have to face off against, but first he wants to figure out exactly why they're here. Maybe they have some weird ulterior motive. So Danzo's looking at Naruto now, and he takes in his features, like his weird slitted eyes, and the fact that Naruto has these small horns a little bit growing on his head. And he's like, okay, interesting. Danzo takes a couple paces forward. Getting out of the way of the rest of his army behind him, he starts talking to Naruto. He basically speaks. He's like, well, you ain't really able to do anything here, Naruto. We're gonna kill you, and we're gonna take your body back to the, Leaf Village, just to show that we have killed a demon lord. We're gonna take Hinata back with us, too, because you've abducted her. Naruto's like, did you just say I abducted her? Is that really what you just said, right? Like, you gotta be kidding, right? Like, you're not a complete idiot, are you, Danzo? Naruto, at this point, would actually have a little bit more knowledge of him due to Kurama and good old... Why do I keep saying good old? I don't know why I keep saying that. But due to having Kurama and the Demon Lord inside of him, he would have a little bit more knowledge about Danzo, who he is and what he's done. So, Naruto would know some of these things, and he's like, okay, Mr. Sharingan. And Danzo looks at him and he's like, what was that, kid? Naruto basically points to his arm, and he's just like, I know what you got under there. I'm not a fucking idiot. And Danzo is a little impressed at this point. He's like, what? How did you know about my Sharingan arm? Naruto's like, well, it ain't that hard to tell. Got a lot of chakra built up down there. And he's like, okay, well, that makes a little bit of sense, but I didn't realize you were a sensory type. And Naruto's like, I'm not. And Danzo's like, what? How are you able to? Naruto's like, just shut the fuck up. And Naruto charges forward. Because, he's kind of really annoyed by Danzo at this point. So with Naruto charging forward, Danzo, throws up his counter. But not actually wanting to fight yet, he lets all of his, some of his Anbu ninja fight before him. So Naruto, at this point, would be like, God, these They're literally fodder to him. They don't really do anything. Naruto's just annoyed by the fact that he can't fight the big bad first. So Naruto would begin. And he would easily one-shot every single person who would come up against him. Like, nobody really would be able to stand any amount of a chance, unless it was like Danzo himself going up to fight Naruto at this point. So Naruto, again, one-tapping literally all of them, dodging all of their attacks, and even if he didn't, he wouldn't feel any actual pain or damage from the fact that he was getting hit. He takes down hundreds upon hundreds of these root ninja. And then Danzo, with about, let's say, like 50 root ninja left, would actually hold his hand up, telling them to stay back before he himself walks forward, saying to Naruto that, "You're a little bit stronger than I anticipated. I'm going to actually have to get my hands dirty. I actually have to do this myself." And Naruto's like, "What the hell do you expect? I'm a fucking demon lord. You really expect just a bunch of random ninja to be able to take me down, even if there are hundreds of them? They wouldn't do anything." So Danzo walks forward now, and he begins facing off against Naruto. Revealing his Sharingan arm already, because he knows he's going to need it, basically takes out his arm, or takes the little, like, weird cover off of his arm, preparing the Izanagi or Izanami, whichever one it was called. So, with them basically beginning the battle, Naruto one-taps him, one-shots him, and Danzo would have to use Izanami, or Izanagi, whichever it was, and Danzo's like, "What? I couldn't even see at the speed he was moving. How is he so..." He gets hit again, this time sending him flying back. He's holding his gut at this point as he spits out blood, and he's like, "What? How is he so strong? How is he so powerful?" And at this point, Kurama starts getting mad inside him. Or not really Kurama, but Naruto starts getting mad because of the memories that he's had, like with Danzo, or with Kurama and Danzo and the Demon Lord and everything like that. Naruto starts to get mad at Danzo, starts to get a little angry, and his eyes turn to that crimson red color again. Naruto's strength easily triples, maybe, or doubles, or maybe even triples. And Naruto charges forward at Danzo again. Danzo at this point is completely unable to even see Naruto. It's just a blur to him, just a flash, and Naruto seems to be almost teleporting. Naruto slams his fist straight into the gut of Danzo, sending him flying back again. This time, Naruto's hand pierces straight through, Danzo having to use Izanagi once again. Now, Naruto hasn't actually had a chance to use any of his actual powers at this point. All he's really ever had to use is physical strength. So wanting to test himself out, he tries it. He focuses some of his power, focuses onto his back. Some wings sprout and Naruto's able to fly. Then Naruto focuses it into his hand, forming this weird black looking, like Rasengan-like thing. And Naruto now holds it up a little bit, pointing it towards Danzo. Starts shooting weird little beams at Danzo. As the orb slowly gets smaller and smaller, Naruto's able to shoot about 20 different beams from that. Each one of those, if Danzo hadn't dodged it, would be able to kill him, almost immediately, without any effort. Naruto is like, "Oh, interesting." Making a few shadow clones, because Naruto can do that now, because why not? They all make one of those balls, except they make it bigger. About 100 shadow clones would do this exact thing, and it would basically be like 100 minigun rounds shooting at Danzo. All of these different abilities being able to literally one-shot him. Every single one of these is going straight towards Danzo now, and Danzo needs to figure out a way he's going to react to this. Needs to figure out how he's going to dodge this. However, he can't. Using Izanagi over and over again, he would eventually run out. Eventually, he would not be able to revive himself again, and he would die. So Danzo's dead. Like 50 root ninja left. They just run the fuck away. They're getting off the island. They run, and Naruto lets them, because he kind of completed his goal. He killed the big bad, that being Danzo, and he didn't really have to use any actual effort to do it. Naruto didn't actually know his own physical strength, his own physical power, and he's really impressed by it. He wasn't expecting to be quite so powerful, even if he was, have a demon lord inside of him. He also wasn't expecting to have that weird black orb ability. Seemingly subconsciously, he was just able to easily use it. What else can Naruto use, he wonders? Like, what other powers will Naruto actually have in the future? What is Naruto going to be able to do? So at this point, the battle's been going on for a few hours, and Hinata was watching back in the distance, and she got a little worried about Naruto, and she runs down now, seeing that the battle has stopped, and she runs down, she hugs Naruto from behind. Naruto was not actually using any sensory abilities or anything like that at this point. He was more focused on his thoughts, more focused on thinking about his different powers, and he actually gets surprised by this. And when Hinata like runs behind him, and Naruto's like, "Whoa, how did you even get there? I didn't even sense you or anything." And Hinata's like, "I don't know. Were you just not paying attention?" Naruto's like, "I guess." So he wasn't expecting that. He wasn't expecting Hinata to just run up behind him. He thought his sensory abilities were really good. Now he realizes that he actually has to focus on it. Focus on sensing things around him, and he can do that pretty easily. So they both head up back towards the castle, where as Naruto is basically entering his castle, he's about to go to bed. But then he sees something he hasn't actually seen before, and he's wondering why he never saw this before. Maybe it's because it's a little bit of a clearer day. There was a little fog the other day. He's looking in the distance, and he sees an island. Not his own island, obviously, but a different one. And Naruto's like, okay, I'm gonna go there in the morning. So Hinata and Naruto end up going to bed before waking up, and Naruto explains what he saw last night. Hinata's like, well, do you want to go there? And Naruto's like, well, of course I want to go there. I have to figure out what is going on around me. So Naruto walking over in that direction, he starts getting into a better view of the island. Before, he just saw the corner of it, just a mere, not that much of it. He didn't actually see the entire thing. It was getting dark, and Naruto was barely able to see it. So walking off in that direction, Naruto and Hinata start to get closer, with Hinata riding on Naruto's shoulders at this point, because she can't actually water walk or anything like that yet. So as they get closer to it, they see it. The island starts getting bigger and bigger, and they get a more clear view of it. It's a rocky island with a little bit of magma running around it, shape of a massive skull. Eyes lit up with fire. Naruto's wondering, why is this here? What is going on here? Naruto continues walking over to it, and as he's getting up to it, he sees the entrance, which is a massive open mouth of the skull, and he walks through it. Looking inside, he sees a bunch of demons around a table. This seems to be some kind of weird bar. And then he looks down, and he sees this weird portal-looking thing. Walks down towards it. Everybody around him being demons. Naruto doesn't really care, though. They all sense his power. They sense the Demon Lord, and they sense that Naruto is a human, too. And they basically walk forward, and they ask Naruto, who are you? Naruto would kind of explain a little bit of his scenario, how he is kind of the Demon Lord now, and they all bow down to him because of Naruto's just immense power. They can sense it, and they know that they wouldn't be able to do anything against him. Even the highest ranking of demons wouldn't be able to do literally anything to Naruto. The only one who would stand any chance against him would be the Demon Lord. The other Demon Lord, that is. So, with that happening, Naruto would basically be looking at the portal, looking at this gate, and he'd ask what it is. One of the demons, one of the higher ranking, one of the more stronger looking ones, would walk up to Naruto now, and he'd explain that this is the gate to hell. The gate at which all demons will enter and eventually leave if they want to return back to this world. Naruto's looking at it, and it's like, well, what's going on down there? And then the demon basically says it. Well, you guys don't actually know about this, but there's actually a third Demon Lord. He's the one that is the strongest by definition, and he's the one that basically resides down there in hell. He keeps control of all the dead souls and everything like that, and that's basically all he does. The other Demon Lord that lives above the surface, or on this world like you, isn't nearly as powerful as him. He's like nowhere near his power. And Naruto's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And Naruto looks at the gate one more time before turning around to go back to Hinata, because he kind of left her outside, not wanting her to get caught up in any weird demon crossfire or anything like that. So as he's walking outside, in the distance he sees it. He sees this red-skinned demon, obviously, because with like big horns and everything like that, is kind of trying to talk to Hinata, and Hinata's she's kind of nice at this point. She's trying to be nice, but Naruto hears it with his enhanced hearing, if he wants to use it, and he hears the demon kind of flirting with Hinata. Naruto at this would get very mad. His eyes turn red, and Naruto charges forward. He sends his fist flying straight through the demon, killing him immediately. And everybody around would be like, they know they can't do anything to Naruto, but they can't just let him randomly kill people, even if he is the Demon Lord. There's still rules. They would walk out towards Naruto now. Naruto still being immensely hated, immense hatred, still like flowing through his body at this point. He turns around and basically looks at them, giving them that look that basically says, you say the wrong thing, you're all dead. They basically are looking at Naruto now, and they're wondering exactly how they should say this, how they should put this without, getting killed. They basically say it. You're gonna have to leave. And Naruto's like, oh, okay, I don't really care about this place anyway. Putting Hinata back on Naruto's shoulders, he basically starts walking across the water once again, back towards his island, where the massive castle lays atop the massive hill, because why not? So, with that being said, I'm going to leave this part off here. I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out. Bye.